was like perfect. Can I say what she said? No, that was actually really yummy. And Melvis, I want to add, like, right, it's this essence, it's our essence, it's our soul, but that goes beyond the ego and the self, which is what you said, right? But like getting outside, it's breaking the limitations of what our ego tells us. It's like way beyond that for me. When I think of like my higher self, it's I am consciously connected to everything and nothing and all at the same time. And it's this yummy feeling. I just know, I feel, I am, and I feel very complete, and I feel very connected to you, to what you were saying in Melvis, right? That we feel like we're solo on an island, but we're not. We're all these amazing, beautiful souls having our own journeys, but in the same playground, right? Playground meaning however you want to take that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, when you want to connect with your true essence, what is it that you do to allow that part of you to be the one in charge?
That is a fantastic question. And I loved, you mentioned earlier the magical experience, right? With it, when we are connected, in tune with allowing our higher self to be present, we do have a magical experience here on earth. And why, to Melvis's point, do we think that it's so hard and not a part of us? And yeah, I can have these abs, but I got to work on it. But we can also work on our higher selves. But for me, I think, to answer your current question, Victoria, connecting to my higher self consists of a lot of meditation, and not just like my 5 minute like grounding, I just need to breathe meditation, like my long meditation where I am in complete stillness physically so that I can feel what's going on energetically, spiritually. Like I open up my crown chakra, I connect source, it's this beautiful, it's a lot of visualization. I realize a lot of what I do for me personally, and I aim to teach my clients, but it's a lot of visualization. So I visualize a lot of things, and then over time, it's like it's a feeling that I get. But I know when I'm connected to my higher self, when I'm in a space of surrender. When I'm like, no, I trust that that project that I sent out is going to work well, or that offer that I made, it's going to come back. Like when I'm just releasing and doing and being, and not really focused on like, well, I need this to happen like this, and I also need this to look just like this. When I surrender control of that, I know that I'm in more connection with my higher self, because I'm trusting in her, in me, I'm trusting in source, I'm trusting in God. And it's not an easy to always do. Life happens, but when you do, I feel it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's essentially a wellspring of inner wisdom. Like think of like a candy store with wisdom. Like it's, oh, I don't want to say the word
no,
yummy,
it's
but
like it's
yummy.
so beautiful.
Like, no, like it's like, oh, candy store, I know this, I can learn about this, I can tap into this. It is a magical experience. Like I think that's the favorite thing I heard today. It's a truly magical experience, and why not make this life a little bit more magical? I'm down for that. I mean, but
Good. So now,
yeah, I we are on our own paths, and I like that it resonated for you, Melvis. I think too, just reminding people to take a pause, because I do this with any type of activity, question, knowledge seeking, taking pauses, taking time in nature, being by yourself, or doing your favorite activity. Mine is dance. Anytime I dance, I am connected. Like it's like a plug. It's like, okay, here we go. I'm plugged in. Like take a pause from computers, electronics, and just be like reminding ourselves that, okay, well, it's cool. I'm going to research this. And I also get to go for a walk and just take a pause and see what comes up. Because in those little pauses, it's like when those little like messages and like, oh yeah, and like, oh wait, I know this. Oh wait, I feel this. Wait, why is this song in my head all of a sudden? Those things can happen with those pauses. So I think for me, that's what I would recommend to people who are constantly seeking outside of themselves. And it's hard. It's so easy today. I mean, how much can we find in 3 seconds on here? I get it. It's too easy. So we have to consciously want to take a pause.
Right, right.
Yeah, I love that you said that. It has to be a conscious decision, for you to say, I'm going to find out what information is within.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah.
It does. Oh, it definitely does. I think well, it's really beautiful to hear both sides of this because I realized I've had both, right? Like I've had, let me figure out how to mindfully eat. And then I would like research and try different things. But then sometimes in a dream, I'll have like someone say something, a full sentence, and then quietly the next day, I'm like, oh wait, I get to look into Reiki. Like there's something with my left hand. And so I've had both experiences, which is really beautiful. And options, which we love to share on this podcast, right? There are so many ways of delving into yourself, outside of yourself, but ultimately coming back into connecting to your higher self. Like it's important in the sense of wanting to be that feeling of oneness. We are all one, we're all energy, we're all love, we're all God, whatever word you want to use. But when you tap into this feeling, you'll know what we're saying. It's hard to communicate this without having felt it. I think I didn't really believe in this when I was younger. I was very ego driven, and it was like, well, I need to do this and I need to do this and I need to do this and me. But until I kind of had my first glimpses with my higher self, I didn't think that way. I thought I was an island. In fact, I went to a therapist for years and he told me that I was always on an island. Now it makes sense. But I was like, what do you mean? I'm on the island of Manhattan, sure. And now it makes sense what he was saying. So
interesting.
yeah.